Good afternoon. It is May 5th, about 3 in the afternoon, maybe 3:30. Just patching up the greenhouse. We had some heavy winds through the winter. Kind of ripped my reinforced poly up a little bit, but fortunately I had some more and basically just double layered it. So, and then finally, it's kind of dirty right now because it's been laying in the grass, but trimmed out the outside, got a latch on her finally, and a handle, trimmed out the inside. And the wife got going on putting some seeds in the dirt. It's still getting pretty cold at night. I haven't seen frost in at least a week or two, but I think it's time to get the seeds popping in here, because no matter what, it's not going to frost in here. So, just getting some stuff started. All good stuff. The habaneros and some. I like my hot peppers, but we grow pretty much everything. This is just the beginning. And also, got to do some fixing up on the old chicken coop. You know, functionally, it's actually perfectly fine like this. I would like to touch up the tie-back on the front of that, get that pinned back tight. I'm eventually got to bring some siding home, and I'm just going to actually side this with vinyl siding. I just keep patching this up year after year, but we lost 2 flocks last year. We have a pretty serious predator problem here. There's raccoons, there's a few stray cats, and there is 2 fox dens. We got gray foxes and red foxes, and as you can see here, this perfectly little stretched up. I think the second flock was taken by either a raccoon or a cat, because the first flock was definitely taken by foxes. Foxes, they don't eat right where they're make their kill. They bring it back to the den, feed the pups, so on. We found a couple feathers laying in the yard, but never found any, trace of the chickens other than that. And that was 8 chickens disappeared. We free range them in the afternoon before the sun goes down, or a little bit after dinner. We'll open the door, let them come around and pick at the grass, eat bugs and stuff, and at sundown, they all just know to naturally come home, and they go back to their coop. We close the door. Well, one night, we must have been tuckered out from whatever, summer stuff, and forgot to get the door closed. And the next morning, there was a couple feathers over there, a couple feathers over there, and the door was open. All the chickens were gone. Never found a single one. So we got some chicks and got them raised. They were just starting to get feathers on, and something got through my fence, whatever it was. I'm thinking either a raccoon or a cat had dragged them all out onto the little brick porch there, and well, it wasn't pretty, and it didn't, didn't finish them off. It just killed them. It basically just wasted them all, and it was a real sad sight, because they were just starting to be real cool looking chickens. They were pullets, Polish silkies, I want to say. I don't know. We've had a lot of different kind of chickens. Anyhow, I gotta go through, get all this grapevine out of here, take the chainsaw, clear the brush back so I can get the lawnmower all the way around. And I'm going to make a little bit of perimeter, go back through with some tie wire and find any weak spots and get it stapled, nailed down, wired down tighter. And I've got some galvanized mesh that's got much smaller holes that I'm gonna get up around the coop, and I want to bury this wire down into the ground and slap some mortar on that. Maybe plop a couple bricks on there on both sides of this. It is into the ground all the way around the rest of the perimeter, but I modified this a couple times. I redesigned the coop and moved it, and I guess I'll go ahead and take the blame for the second flock because I didn't reinforce this as good as I could have. So this is all going to get pinned in much tighter. This is going to be a little Fort Knox for our chickens. But inside the coop's still in real good shape. It's just how we left it. So we'll get all the old chips out. There's really nothing wrong with them. This was freshly changed just before we lost them. But we'll throw some new stuff in there. I was really surprised not to find any mice or anything in here. I was just absolutely baffled that nothing took harbor in here through the winter. But, you know, this is a damn nice coop. It's double walled with insulation in between. And, you know, spray foam sealed all the corners. So this is a cozy little home for them. And then it's poured concrete underneath. And inside of that concrete, I've got a heat coil from a heated car seat. So that just works off a 12 volt, and I believe that uses 35 watts. And the panel is down right now because it was not being used, and it's not good to just have a panel not hooked up to something in the sun. So I'll put that back up. I got a 50 watt polycrystalline panel, and I just run that directly to the heating coil for the winter. They don't need any heat in the summer, obviously. I'll maybe hook up a fan in there with a smaller panel, maybe like a 200 millimeter computer fan, kind of up in the top corner. Circulate a little bit of air, keep them cool and comfortable at night and stuff. But yeah, that's the project for the day. I got a little bit of spare time this afternoon, so I'm gonna tidy all this up, get it looking pretty again. Try to scoop some of this dirt out of here because this is super rich stuff, you know, with all the bird droppings, and that gets hauled over to the garden, and then maybe the rest of the week I'll get to working on that. But figured I'd just quick update. I'm gonna get some work done, and maybe I'll check back and show you all what it looks like before I sign out. All right, later. Well, that's enough progress for the day. Got her cleaned up all the way around. I'll be able to get the tractor all the way around. The girls helped. Yeah, you've seen it here. Teenage girl raking. The elusive, hard-working teenage girl. I noticed a little bit of, not so bad on this side. I don't know if it's ants or what got in there, but something was tunneling under, so I'm going to have a little bit of masonry touch-up to do, and I'm going to get all this out of there. And I think instead of siding, I'm going to cover this whole thing, rip this off, make a new door, cover the whole outside with tar paper, galvanized mesh, and then scratch it with mortar, because them damn mice won't be chewing through that. And then I can mortar it right to the limestone base that it's sitting on and seal it up tight too. You know, that's a brick. I built a small brick footing with a limestone cap on it, and then filled the inside with cement. I'll be able to, seal the whole thing up in a hard shell with some masonry, and that'll work a whole hell of a lot better. I did notice inside of here, got all this cleaned up nicely, raked all the, there was wild tomato plants and stuff. We got food that grows just all over this yard. There's tomatoes and asparagus and strawberries and raspberries and stuff that grow wild. I noticed this was starting to get loose, so I'm going to dig this out all the way around both sides and lay a layer of stone and gush mortar in between it and slop a whole bunch down, so nothing will be able to, get through that. And when I do my masonry on the building, I'll have that chicken wire pinned tight to it before I scratch the mortar, so that'll be just locked in there. So I'll be locked together. I might patch up the wood there. I suppose it wouldn't be a bad idea. The mortar will seal it up, but whatever. Overkill is underrated. A couple of fellas once told me so. So anyhow, that's the progress for that. Get all our water jug and our feeder jug cleaned out. I'll go through little spots like this, loose spots, tie that back up. But top it's sagging, but it's in pretty good condition. Could maybe, it's not pretty wood. It still seems to be strong enough. Door's holding. So, well, there it is. She's a fine little coop. We'll do 8 more chickens, and then they got a nice, there's a 16 by almost 8 foot. It's 16 by about 7 foot run for them. So they got some room. They got some room to play. I don't know if we'll free range them anymore. We're pretty nervous about the last time losing the whole flock. That was pretty tragic. We've been doing chickens here for 8 years, and that's the first time something like that happened, and it'll just be a damn shame if it happened again. So, but there is, the grass grows in. The grapevine is just unrelenting. It's constantly growing in there, and when there is chickens in there, they like that because it's fresh leaves and stuff for them to nip at. And whatever, that's organic food. So anyhow, thanks for watching. God bless you, and take care.